Hey everybody, it's Skylar. This is the video I was supposed to record a couple days ago, but 2 days is not that far off from what I said I was going to do. Alright, this is probably going to take a little while because it's going to be like a college update video that I've been promising, but I think it's going to end up just being like a semester overview. I have a little sticky note with all my little notes on it, so I'm going to talk about. But you guys have asked for a couple things. A lot of them are just not trans related, so this is going to be more general talk. But yeah, let's get started. So the first thing a lot of people ask is about classes. Is it hard? How am I doing? It's Harvard, blah, blah, blah. And I did pretty well, I'd say, my first semester. I feel pretty good about my classes. I came from a pretty rigorous high school. And so in comparison, it's actually not that, it's not harder. I think it's actually easier. So far, at least. I'm sure it will get harder. But right now, it's not that bad. I'd say, well, the other thing that people ask me is what am I doing for my major, and we're Harvard, we're weird, so we call it concentration, but I don't know what I'm going to concentrate in. Currently I'm following a pre-med type of track, but I'm not really sure where it's going to go from there. I've considered majoring or concentrating in psychology. I'm also really interested in marine bio and ocean conservation. Speaking hard, and ocean conservation or conservation biology and environmental policy, kind of the whole stop global warming thing. So that's something that I'm looking into. I also really enjoy writing and literature, so that's also something that I'm going to look into. Anyways, my point is that I have a lot of areas of concentration that I could be doing, but I'm not sure. People ask me a lot if Harvard is super hard and if I'm dying and blah, blah, blah. And I think the hardest part of college and the hardest part of Harvard is a combination of everything. So there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of social things, and there's a million clubs. And when you put all of that together and combine it with the fact that you're living relatively on your own, you have to do all of your own chores and things by yourself, then things get hard. But classes itself, not hard. Living by myself on itself, not hard. Having a social life on itself, not hard, but putting it all together, there's just like a lot. So that brings me to the second part, which is swim team and team stuff. I think that overall, I'm having a really great time on the team, and I really enjoy swimming, and the swimming itself is going really well, and I think maybe I'll make a separate video just about that, but there's enough about swimming, I think, in general. But if you guys want an extra video that's just about swimming, let me know. But in terms of the social life, I think I'm taking a little bit more than I think your average guy on the team to kind of blend in. I don't know if that's the right term. One of the biggest things that I had to learn how to do this semester was just learn more about male social pattern, because that is something that is strikingly different. There is a different male culture than there is a female culture, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are going to say, well, gender is just a construct, blah, 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 there isn't a binary, etc. But the fact of it is that there is a binary. It does exist, and people do act differently. In general, there are obviously exceptions to this, but especially in groups, people act differently in male groups and female groups. So I'm just adjusting to that. There's a lot that I'm learning. I'm 100% male on campus and around people, but it's just I haven't socialized with 40 male swimmers before. So that's just something that I'm learning. And I think that's been difficult because I want to just kind of be a part of everything immediately, and I know people want to include me and that kind of thing, but there's just things that I'm just kind of learning how to do first and observing before I participate. But it's a learning curve, and so the beginning of the semester was definitely much harder than it is now, and I've definitely felt more and more connected to people, and that's been really good. I felt better and better as the semester went on. The first 2 months of the semester, I think, were really, really difficult because there's just a lot of adjustment that I needed to do, and that was difficult and that I didn't expect. Not just in terms of the team, but I'm talking about in terms of everything. Sorry, I had to change clothes. I was recording it the day I said I was recording it, and then I got interrupted and didn't finish it, so this is going to be the rest of it. So the other two things that I want to talk about is my dorm and my roommate, because I think people ask about that. My roommate is pretty cool. We get along well. There's not really anything, he knows that I'm trans and there's no problems. He doesn't really care. So, yeah, people have asked about that. The other question that was common was asking how I've been treated and what people say or how people treat me when they discover or learn that I'm trans. And so far, I'm going to talk about aside from the team, because everybody from the team knows. and new, obviously, but people who are new who know, typically, I haven't run into anybody that cares. Some of them don't even know that like a trans swimmer exists or whatever, but the people who do typically don't put two and two together, so sometimes they'll learn later and they're like, oh, you're that kid or whatever, but by then they've already met me, so it doesn't really change anything. They're just like, okay, well, you had a different, like a unusual past or whatever. So for the most part, people don't seem to care, but I mean, I'm sure there are people who do. I just haven't really interacted with them. One time, somebody was asking me where I was going to school or something, and I said Harvard, and I said that I was a swimmer, and they, oh, you'll be swimming with the kid who got a sex change. And I was like, that, I think you're talking about me. And then she was like, oh, that's so cool, like, backpedaled and tried to figure out, because obviously sex change is not the politically correct term, but whatever. So there are people who are ignorant, but the thing is, like, I expect people to be ignorant for the most part, and so I just know that I'm going to have to do some education or just recognize that people are going to be ignorant. Not everybody is educated on trans, like, related terms or things that have to do with trans people. It's just like, why would they be? I mean, more and more nowadays people are learning and do understand or are familiar with terms, but for the most part people, they have no reason to be familiar with them. So I do a lot of education, and I just mean like little things, like just telling people what a word means or steering them in the right direction if they use a word that I don't think is correct or something like that. But I think that's all the questions that you guys wanted. If you have more questions, again, feel free to ask. A quick review, I guess, of where I am right now. I think I'm almost 8 months on testosterone. Really? Yeah, I think I'm almost 8 months on testosterone, which is insane. And I'm almost 11 months post-op. So I'll just show you chest real quick. And the tan that I got from training chair kind of makes it blend in a bit more, which is nice. But everything's healing fine. I do notice that when my skin is dry, it like gets dry on top of my scar a little bit, so I have to put a little extra stuff on it, just like lotion, but other than that. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have more questions, feel free to ask me, and if you have suggestions for further videos, again, feel free to ask. Alright, have a great day, everybody.